Okay, this will be a short episode because I don't have that much time. I actually thought this would be a longer episode and that I had plenty of time. I thought that so much so to the point that I screwed myself over. Instead of doing this, I was fucking around watching the Satan's tool, also known as YouTube, scrolling, just scrolling and seeing lots of interesting things. Oh man. In today's world, you can't really afford to be a consumer. You have to be a producer. Hopefully what you're producing is what people want. I guess it depends on what you know how to do. My official girlfriend knows how to cook very unhealthy things, and that's exactly what people want. And so she's making money off of that, but that's not her main source of income. She's also I don't know what the fuck she does. She works from home answering phones over the internet or some stupid shit, which I think that is definitely a job for a woman. And I'm not saying that men can't do it or that men shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that this man would not want to do that. I like using my hands, even if it's hard work. I would get really fucking bored sitting on my ass the entire day. And also really out of shape, I think. It would basically have to be that, 8 hours of that, and then just gym time. And I don't have that much time. Although I did work out today, so that's me trying to get back into my shape. And even though now I'm in a... I want to say it without cracking up. I think I'm in a good relationship now, but we'll see how long that lasts for, since, yeah, I don't have the greatest track record when it comes to those things. I only date crazy people exclusively. Why? Because Satan, I guess. I don't know why. Because high quality people don't like me. Only psycho people like me, I guess. So if you like my show, and yeah, you might be a crazy person. If you're normal, then I don't know. Explain to me why you're even listening. Hello, you're listening to The Brave Traveler. I'm your host. The letter I, followed by an R. That's me. IR. It's short for something. None of your fucking business. IR is good enough. I was watching a summary video on YouTube. Some guy does like summary videos about really obscure movies that are actually really interesting, but nobody would ever watch them because they didn't put enough money into marketing, I guess. And I've actually, based off of the recommendation off of some of these videos, seen a couple. The guy's channel is Alter, ALTER, all caps. Interesting. Right now I was watching one about a mermaid. Anyways, so I haven't really looked into it very much because I don't right off the bat care. The latest story on the news is that some guy shot a CEO by the name of, the fuck was his name? Brian Thompson, something like that. I don't know. I've seen a picture of him. He looks like a happy, beefy boy, or I should say he did look happy. I don't know, but apparently he was the head of a big medical company, medical insurance, medical yada yada, I don't know. And some guy decided, this whole fucking medical system is corrupt. I need to do something about this. and he shot him. I guess, like, I can't remember how many times. I think it was 3 times. You would think somebody that fucking rich would have security when he's going anywhere. Why wouldn't he? It seems weird. It just seems really, really, really weird. But yeah. Extremely rich CEO of a whatever medical billionaire company. No security. Not at all. Because who needs that shit, right? He gets killed. It seems really suspicious. Especially even more suspicious with the whole 286. He was 286 miles away. June 28. And I don't remember what other stupid shit with 286. To me, the guy was told to do it. I don't know what group he's in. All I know about the guy that killed the other guy is that the shooter was an Ivy Leaguer by the name of Luigi. I can't go that high. I think that's a tweak that machines, can make somebody's voice go that high to actually say Luigi and have it come out Luigi. It's too hard. So Luigi thought it was a good idea to kill this guy, and he's an Ivy Leaguer. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. Dude. The CEO might be the guy running the shit, but he's only running it. He's a manager. He's managing it for the shareholders. Why didn't you go? I don't want to condone murder, but I'm just trying to point out that if this guy is so fucking smart, why is he shooting the guy that's replaceable? You think that an Ivy Leaguer would think that I'm going to kill this fucking guy because he's the head of all this shit. I'm going to completely forget that he's replaceable and that it's actually the shareholders that are, making the final decision on things. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of a setup. It's a stupid bullshit setup. It's yet another stupid fucking story about how random shit just happens and who knows why, but look, they left a pattern. It's culty shit. I wonder what the fuck it means. Doesn't it always mean the same thing? Isn't it always the fucking Satanists, one way or another, just sort of leaving their stupid little signatures everywhere? Ah, boy, oh boy. So forgive me if I don't know the details. I just think it's bullshit. I think it's another stupid bullshit thing. Like, for example, the whole Donald Trump getting shot at. Obviously, that was bullshit. But I mean, even more bullshit or adding insult to injury. It was a second attempt, supposed alleged attempt on his life. But we didn't get to see that one. No pictures, no any suspects? I mean, the first one, we got a dead body. And then some assholes telling us, that guy did it. Like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to believe that. All right. Yeah, I guess. You said that the BlackRock employee or whatever the fuck he was. Yeah, he did it, right? I mean, we can't question him, but who would want to question him? I mean, we already have the answers. He did it. Okay. What about the second assassination attempt? Who the fuck did it that time? We don't know. Okay. Any videos? Any pictures? No, nothing. Just believe it. Oh, okay. There you go. It happened because we were told it did. I don't know that happy-faced, tubby man with the overbite I don't wish anybody death, especially not that happy face, tubby man with the overbite. Because it was pointless. It was so stupid. Guy was just having a good time, pretty much, right? Being a millionaire. I bet. I don't know. Who is this Luigi tied to? What group that I can't fucking mention on here because they literally run the motherfucking known world? Is it the group that starts with a J? Is it the group that starts with an A? Or is it the group that starts with an F or an M, depending on how you look at them? One of those, probably. Are they all connected to the Fallen? More than likely. Alright, fine. Never mind. There's no answers in that one. I was watching earlier. This is fucked up. But I saw that you can actually access nudity on YouTube whenever the fuck you feel like it. If you just put like nude painting or nude body painting or nude photography or nude art. You just combine those and ta-da! You get them. You get everything short of porn. Maybe it's even actually up there with porn, I think, because you can even like type in shit like how to shave your anus, how to shave your vagina, and bam, porn. Full body massage and porn. I don't know. There's so many. It's pretty much porn under the guise of it's informative. You know, this is medical information, and really it's just a bullshit excuse to sneak in porn into YouTube. I got distracted by hearing my cats. My cats named Flower and Tree. I didn't name them. They're very spoiled. They have everything they need, right? They got their back box of sand, got their food and water. They got everything. Got toys. They got the entire backyard to play around in. And they still, it's not enough for them. You know, they want your attention all the time. So, but they seem to like me, and I like that. I haven't had a pet in a very long time. Whenever I'm out there, you know, they always know, hey, that's the guy that gives us food. I saw this incredible video earlier by Josh Stone. That's the name of his YouTube channel. And it's called Stevie Wonder Faked Being Blind. And man, that video is so convincing. Not only are there a ton of famous people giving you examples on times that Stevie Wonder had to have been able to see to have been able to do the things he's done, like drive a car. Stevie Wonder even admitted flying a plane. And the smoking gun in that video was, at the end of the video, Stevie Wonder catches a microphone that was falling in the air. Paul McCartney ran right in front of him and bumped into a microphone that started to fall right by Stevie Wonder, and he just caught it in the air before it hit him. So Yeah. I really think that it seems like Hollywood is just one big giant charade. It's made out to look like Babylon, like it's the biggest party you could ever want to be a part of. It's the cool kids, you know. I remember when I was a kid, I used to see action movies, and I thought, that looks like a ton of fun. I would love to be that actor that gets all the credit. I mean, obviously, the actor is not the person that's doing the most. They just have the face that attracts the most. And so it's all linked to them in order to sell the project. So Tom Cruise is not necessarily a genius, but he does have a face that will sell movie tickets. He's not the best actor, but he's pretty good. For what he does, yeah, he's great. I don't think he could handle Shakespeare, although I would love to see him try. But he's clearly not going for that for a reason. It's probably going to be one or two or both. One, they're hard, and two, they don't really make that much money. If Stevie Wonder is lying about being blind, and Robin Williams faked his own death, and then you have that one guy that was Trump's photographer making that one video saying that he believes that Trump should make a new law that says that any ex-celebrities that have faked their own deaths should be allowed to come back without being bothered by the press or anybody unless they want to talk. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And all the many different ways of not only faking your death, but acquiring a new identity. Oh, and making it legal. That's fine. You faked a new identity. That's fine. I wonder if they're faking their new identity either by mask, because I've seen what $1,000 mask looks like, and it looks incredible. It looks just, you wouldn't be able to recognize that it's a mask. It looks so real. But how about a $10,000 mask or a $100,000 mask? So that basically only the extremely rich would be able to afford it. And do you even need a mask anymore? Now that you have AI. Well, I'm sure we've always had it, but I mean, now that we're permitted to use AI again, or maybe it's brand new to this society, that's for sure, but it's been around before the reset for sure. My daughter is 8 years old, and a few weeks ago, I got a paper that her mom wanted me to go over with her because she was going to be tested on it. Math stuff, multiplications, but also, and this is fucked up, biology, sex ed, the female and male organ. And it said also reproduction of children and stuff like that, and how that's done. And I felt so angry because that shit is it's basically poison to a young mind. You don't need that information just yet. You don't need your mind to be wandering in that direction, not at all. I understand the bullshit lies that they use to sneak it into school, to sneak it into younger and younger grades. But understand this. The reason why it's so dangerous, the reason why it can be mentally poisonous, is because of the same reason that you wouldn't teach a class of 8-year-olds how to, for example, this is an exaggeration, but I think it makes more sense that way. You might see what I'm saying. If you teach an entire class of 8-year-olds how to kill someone with a pencil, self-defense, and if you're in a tight situation, you really need to, go for the artery. You don't want to do that, even if it's true. This is a way you could defend yourself all of a sudden. You don't want to do that because 8-year-olds aren't old enough. They haven't had enough life experience to know that not to try it unless they actually need it. And then they don't have enough experience. They might actually think they need it, have that knowledge, that useless fucking knowledge, and think, oh, this is a good moment for me to use that. Let me tell you something. If I learned that shit at a young age, and I did, thanks, cousins, you fucking can't even say what I want to say, but fuck you both. Never mind. If you learn that shit at a young age, you're not old enough to know that just because you know it doesn't mean you should do it. You might get curious, especially if some scumbag, dumb bitch, or some scumbag, piece of shit, idiot guy. Teach it to your kids in the way their overlords, the Satan factory, tells them would be best to do. Teach them like this. Yeah, just tell them like this, and tell them it's normal, and tell them, yeah, they do this, and this is why, and fuck those people, man. Bob Marley said that all government is illegal, and I'm pretty sure that all schools are bullshit lies, except you don't see it because it's part of the same system of lies. You gotta work in that system, you gotta watch TV in that system, and it's all bullshit. So I was really upset, but I also didn't want her mom to sort of explain it in her way, which is not a very good way. I explained it as best I could using garden metaphors for, growing plants and seeds and stuff like that. I also took a biblical point of view from it, saying, it's actually horrible to do unless you're really sure of that person, which you can't be sure upon meeting someone, right? That's lust at first sight, doesn't add up to, being right for each other for even the next 10 years. I think I've given her enough analogies and stories of life that she can kind of understand that it's best to know for sure and wait. To wait and know for sure than, stupid people that have no self-control and just rush into things. I mean, that's what I did. So I know that's how it goes. But yeah, I fucking hated that. I think I had sex ed when I was like, I'm going to say 9 at youngest, but I think it was actually more like 10. So it's fucked up that they're doing that. I'm glad I'm the kind of parent I am that can actually talk to my kid and explain and over-explain and answer questions and not be the other kind of parent that just fucking leaves it up in the air. Like, well, school or television will handle that. I'm busy. I'm tired. But it was pretty fucking uncomfortable. I'm just glad that I was able to find the right words, and I used cartoon drawings from Google and some of my own drawings, because fuck no was I ever going to do a Google search and have like real pictures show up, because like I said, that shit is mental fucking poison to a child. Once you put shit like that into a kid's mind, they think it's a game. They want to try playing that way with other people their age, hopefully. So, no. And my kid has a lot of energy, but I think I'm a good influence for her in kind of taming that energy, with the meditation, with the yoga, with exercise. And even my whole personality isn't one where I don't know, wearing my heart on my sleeve, as they say. I saw a trilogy the other day. I had seen this fucking character a lot, and he looks like shit. But there's something captivating about that stupid looking grin. Terrifier. Art the Clown. I saw the trilogy, and I don't know what it was. Somebody talked about a review that people were throwing up. People were running out of the movie theater. I saw the movies, all of them. So I understand what could have received such a reaction, because the special effects aren't like what most people nowadays are used to, where it's all fucking computer cartoons. They were using the real special effects, like from the 80s and 70s, where you couldn't just program the shit. You actually had to make it out of some silicone, mold it out, paint it up, all that stuff. And they look really good, and I mean like really real. So, I mean, even some of the stuff I just kind of looked away. Just because even if I know it's not real, I fully understand what it's representing. It's representing this actually, but in reality, you know? It was just a disgusting movie, and it's kind of entertaining to watch at times. I also found myself most of the time just sort of fast forwarding it because it wasn't that good. So I understand why people that aren't used to these realistic looking special effects sort of feeling like, oh, I need to vomit and I'm traumatized. I need to run away. But for me, who did grow up seeing movies like that, it's just okay. The special effects were great. That was the best part of the movie, actually, which is an oxymoron probably because it's also the worst part of the movie. I mean, like literally, it can be traumatizing. It can be horrifying. That shit can also be poison for the mind. So I don't actually recommend anybody watching the Terrifier movies. But I mean, the people involved seem to have a passion for it, so they're passion projects, I think. There's a story behind the story. Like, art is basically some asshole that got possessed, demon possessed. Way too many parasites. And I know it's parasites because there's some subtle shit that doesn't get explained, but it makes sense if you already know. Art is possessed by some serious demons, which means maybe a shitload of parasites. The first movie starts off with him putting on the makeup. So it's admitting he is just a guy wearing some fucking makeup. But then you see the almost at the beginning of the movie, you see the first scene where he's going to attack the pizza guys. Right before that, he goes into a bathroom and he violently takes his shit and smears the letters ART on the toilet with his own shit. Parasites. The second one was actually my favorite. And the reason it's my favorite is of this little girl clown, the pale girl. This little girl clown is supposed to be a figment of Art's imagination, or so it seems. But then later on, she seems to not be just in his head, since she even makes a phone call. That little girl looked fucking amazing. Loved that little girl. That little girl represented more than just an entity that Art could see, but also of a demon. Then they tried to put some backstory on there of an old newspaper clipping of a little girl, that same little girl, who had died or gone missing. I can't remember. So then I was actually really looking forward to the third one, to see more of that little girl. I thought she looked awesome. I even saw a clip online of her at one of the conventions, and they were asking her if she's going to be in the third one, and they said that she can't say anything. She signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. I was going to watch the third one in the theater, actually, but it was gone by the time I wanted to see it. The third one does not have the pale little girl. She's replaced with the woman that survived at the end of the first movie. Which, by the way, the end of the first movie sort of added to my conviction that art is full of demonic parasites, because he starts eating the woman's face of the survivor of the first movie at the end of the movie. So that's pretty reptilian. And again, I'm not saying that art is a reptile. I think he was possessed by the demons. And then this woman that had her face all disfigured goes on a talk show, looks like a... Well, she looks very disfigured. But then she herself ends up killing the host of the show that she's being interviewed in after the show. And then she shows up in the third one as Art's sidekick, which made it very interesting, actually. So I actually, because of the dynamic duo, I did like the third one. I did not like that the little pale girl was not in it. And I hated the ending. The ending was like most of these movies in the horror genre today. They just have the message of nihilism. No matter what, the bad guys will always win. The good guys will always lose and die horribly. It's just so pessimistic. It's just cynical as fuck. So, yeah, not a fan of that whatsoever. It's just not a good message to be putting out there. I love movies from the 80s and 90s, like Nightmare on Elm Street and even the Jason movies, where yes, the bad guys are real. They fuck shit up, but eventually they get what's coming to them. Now that it's so in your face that real life is being controlled by the bad guys, of course you see a change even in movies, where the message that the good guys win in the end is being replaced by nihilism. Nothing matters. Everything is bad. Nothing gets better. It only gets worse. It's fucking bullshit. But it makes sense. It's exactly what they want people to think, right? Divide and conquer. You know, if everyone is confused, if everyone believes that only bad things happen, they're going to make it happen. They're going to manifest that shit. So, if your brain is already fucked up and you don't really have any dreams of making that better, go ahead and enjoy Terrifier. It probably won't worsen your life more. It might. Who knows? Terrifier is pretty much a movie only for people that are going into the business of making special effects. Yeah, I don't really recommend it for any other reason. No. I saw that Bob Iger is not going to keep his promise. I actually saw his fucking masterclass years ago where he had said that all the live adaptations of the Disney classics was a fucking mistake. But that's only because of some blah 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 bullshit that apparently they didn't know, that Walt Disney himself had written it, some instructions, never make sequels, never make remakes or live adaptations, motherfuckers in the future. And then Bob Iger on the masterclass, as he was his acting debut, he was like, "Oh my God, we need to stop everything." So I said, we're not going to do this anymore. We're just going to, finish up what we started. But that's it. Lilo and Stitch, the live adaptation, was not in that motherfucking list of movies that, but we already started to. You could say that it was, but it's a lie. Basically, flat out, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what Walt Disney wanted. It's all bullshit anyways. Lilo and Stitch. I kind of liked the movie. Not that much. It wasn't that memorable except for Stitch itself, which I like referring to Stitch as Lilo, but yeah, Lilo is apparently the little girl. Because Leela was already taken. Yeah, I don't really remember much about that damn thing except the voice.
Hi. He had a very choked up voice like this, and he would say, hi.
That's all I remember. That must have been such a shitty fucking movie if I can't remember anything about it. Mulan I didn't even watch. I wonder why. I didn't like the artwork. I think Pocahontas was the last big Disney movie for me. And it was kind of nice, kind of. But they kept declining. Like they were getting worse and worse. I think they peaked at The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. Yeah. Oh, Aladdin, of course. That was it. Tarzan, Hunchback of Notre Dame, they were like, like trying to be as good as the other four, but not really getting it. I think it's funny how they're still planning on showing Snow White, even though they know that nobody's going to watch it. I would love it if anybody can find a way to find out how many of the tickets are actually bought by companies and not actual people. Like, I guarantee that it's not going to be people going to watch these movies. I mean, sure, a couple of idiots, but they're not going to be the majority. Obviously, if they were the majority, Trump wouldn't have won. Oh, man. So, Elvis Presley is now the president. I like it. It's good. You can call me Elvis. Elvis. Well, I don't know. I've also heard that Biden was a fucking hologram. I've heard that Biden was a hologram, and I've seen some convincing videos to make me think that at times when he was in front of the microphones and him were in two different places. We got a little too close, and I was able to see in one video. So this has clearly been done. I don't know if it's always being done. Also, Biden grew a couple inches. I guess you could say, well, some people, they wear tall shoes, elevator shoes, and that's it. He's probably wearing some elevator shoes, and that's all. Maybe. but I don't think that elevator shoes makes your back grow wider. Again, I have no idea what realistic $100,000 masks look like. I've seen what bodysuits look like, and they look pretty fucking real. Currently, I'm watching one show from Apple TV called Silo. Silo is interesting. Season 1 was interesting. I mean, they were gently adding the woke agenda into the first season. You know, there's one woman who could do anything and everything, and she was just superpowered and genius, ballsy. And the angrier she got, the more focused she became. Just not at all the way it is in real life, but okay. So if you can get over that, the show was really fucking interesting. A society that was left underground for who knows how long because of something that happened that people can't even remember why. They're just too afraid to go back up. Not because they don't know how to get back up to the surface, since they have a door that they open every once in a while when somebody wants to leave. But usually they die horribly on the outside. They have a camera outside. This, at the end of season 1, the main character leaves the silo and finds another one. I think that the craters that they show at the end of season 1 was pretty ballsy, pretty amazing, since that's what it looks like in the map of Mars, actually. So I dug it. I like that a lot. That gets me curious to actually look at Vibes of Cosmos, map of the moon, and see how many crater impacts I can actually find. Yeah. Oh, they're pretty close. Damn. Well, okay, so this wasn't a long episode, but it wasn't a bad-sized episode either. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at the Vibes of Cosmos map. Cosmos map. Come on. I think I'm going to have to look at one of their videos to actually see the map a lot better. But that's fine. The reason why I'm looking for the craters is because it's supposed to be, from the Book of Enoch, it was 200 fallen angels, right? A third of heaven, which is why they like the number 33 so much. 200 fallen angels, 200 craters, 200 seats in that one pyramid in Azatana, Kazakhstan. Or is it Azatan? Whatever, it's still Satan. And there's 195 countries. Come on. You know there's 5 secret ones then. Either it's in Hyperborea or Lemuria or Atlantis or whatever. Oh, man. Those fucking reptilians. But it kind of makes sense, right? If the demiurge Yaldabaoth was a big giant serpent, of course, what's it going to make? Us or reptilians? And isn't it interesting? I was having a conversation earlier about this, that Asian people usually celebrate a dragon that is very similar to the demiurge, right? I don't know if you've ever noticed that the Asian dragon looks like a fucking serpent. Like other dragons in movies, they're usually like sort of on all fours, right? They got paws. They're kind of like bats. They got like wings. But the demiurge doesn't have that. Neither does the other one that Asian people celebrate. And by Asian people, I think I mean Chinese and Japanese. Pretty sure. I don't know if other Asian countries celebrate the dragon. They might. The only reason I know anything about Chinese and Japanese people is because they got the movies and they got the anime. India has Bollywood, but I've never been interested by one Bollywood movie ever in my life except for the RRR. All other Bollywood movies just seem like it's a bunch of dancing, like they're all musicals. I mean, I would be curious to check out, like, all right, what are the top best Bollywood movies ever? I'd check out those. Also, in Arabian countries, I mean, I don't even know if they have movies. If they do, I'd love to check out the best. Because I really don't know much about Arab countries except for that thing that happened, what was it, like over 20 years ago, something like that. No, was it over 2000? Oh yeah, in 2001. Was it 2000? I don't fucking know. Leave it alone. That and a couple of things that were happening when South Park was airing an episode and they said, hey, we're going to bomb your ass if you show this. I think, yeah, that's about it. That's all I know about the Arabs. And that, and they have attractive ladies. Well, okay. I think I fulfilled my quota for today. Currently, I am playing Liza P, Metal Gear Solid 1, Dark Souls 3, and I am currently reading the Book of Zohar, the Nag Hammadi, and I think it's Metamorphosis from Obid. Very, very, very interesting books. Can't wait to read more of it. The more I read of the Nag Hammadi, the more it seems obvious that this society was created by bigger things. And bigger things used to be all around. So that's a very interesting read. And Metamorphosis, the book by Obid, seems to be the book of fallen angels. I know it's the book of Greek mythology, but take a look at it. It seems like they had a difference in opinion of helping humans, and some didn't want that. I don't know. They're very interesting because it seems like all the evidence is right here. You just have to puzzle it together in a new way to get the answer. All right, with that, I say good day. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.